Being a slave for 400 years is a choice. What did he mean when he said that, though? Did he really mean that our people being in slavery for 400 years was a conscious choice? That's not what he meant. But it definitely was a choice, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. What Kanye West does is he's basically like any other nigga who's trying to get his ideas or his points across, but a lot of times he don't articulate it in a way for people to really get what he's trying to say. That's why he always telling people like, I'm not media trained, and we know that. So I don't know why y'all be giving him so much shit. Look, disclaimer, Kanye, that's my nigga, alright? But beyond that, I'm not like most people, and I'm more open-minded. Like, honestly, we think alike. Me and him are alike. Like, we think alike. I'm not saying that I agree with everything that he says to anybody else. Just the same thing that he say. But we are open-minded enough to see different sides and different points of views and see how they might make sense. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you what he actually meant, but he just didn't articulate it right. And the people that listen to him, pretty much his audience, well, he got a big audience, but his main audience, they'll take something he say and they'll run with it, especially when you add the influence of media and then social media, what other people saying. It's like they latch on to other people's thoughts and their feelings. And that's what he's saying. He like, people don't think for themselves. This stuff is true, y'all. Y'all doing this stuff without even without noticing it. Like, man, like some people are just more mentally awake and aware than other people are. And that's why he fuck with Trump. And that's why I say I fuck with Trump. I don't say I fuck with Trump because, like, some people see the shit Trump do, oh, he's evil and he don't want nothing good for your people. That's not why we fuck with Trump. We not evil. We fuck with Trump because Trump was always Trump before he was president. Even when he was becoming president, he was always Trump. We fuck with niggas who do them regardless. You know what I'm saying? And still get the results. And that's why I fuck with Kanye. Like, even though he know niggas always backlashing on him, he still do him. He still don't try to be politically correct. But anyway, to get back to the video, right? See, look, but understand that you can fuck with certain aspects of people or certain aspects of things, but that don't mean that you agree 100% totally with everything. And y'all ain't even like aware enough to accept that, or to, you know what I'm saying? Just like, it's stupid, it's dumb, honestly. Anyway, this is what he meant. He didn't articulate it the best way, you know, because we look at him because he's a celebrity, because he's a star. Like, he's a star. Like, we look up. So when he say something, and if it don't align right, he get backlash because we got this damn label on him. Like, what you say, it matters to people. You have influence. Fuck that. Kanye West is just a man. He don't see himself as a star. He got a big ego, but any human being see themselves as just a man. You have to let a star be a star. You have to let a man be a man. So, I study a lot of personal development, a lot of psychology, right? And there was a test being done by a guy, a psychologist by the name of Martin Seligman, right? And another dude by Stephen, his other dude he's working with is named Stephen Meyer. But anyway, they did this test. And what they did was they had a group of dogs, right? I'm gonna kind of sum it up because they did it like 3 different ways. But basically, they had a group of dogs and they put them in a box. And then they had an electrical shock. So when the dogs would hit one side of the box, they would get shocked. So what they did was they removed the box that was getting them shocked, and they put the dogs back inside the box. And what the dogs did was they didn't try to go over the barrier that they remember getting shocked by. Alright, anyway, I didn't explain that well. Here go another story. They did a study where they had a group of like 3 monkeys, and they put them in a cage. They put 3 monkeys in a cage, and above the cage, well beyond out of their reach, they had a bunch of bananas, right? and right below the bananas they had a ladder. So one monkey, he saw the bananas immediately, and he went to go up the ladder in order to get the bananas. But when he did, it was a sprinkler. It'll spray him, cold water. So he got the sprinkler, and he started spraying the other monkeys, and he went back down the ladder. He went down, he sat down for a while, he was cold, he was wet. So other monkeys seen the banana still up there. So they try to go back up there, same thing. The sprinkler started spraying them with cold water. He come down. And the third monkey tried to go up there to get the bananas. The other monkeys grabbed him because they didn't want to be cold, they didn't want to be wet. They grabbed him down and they started beating him. So then they put a new monkey inside the cage. And as the new monkey was going to go up there, they grabbed him and they started beating him, right? And they were just doing stuff like that. But what it proved was learned helplessness. That's the concept. What Kanye West is talking about when he said that it was a choice for black people to be slaves for 400 years is a concept called learned helplessness in psychology. And it's basically when you relate pain or trauma to a result that you tried to get in the past. And in order to avoid that same result, in order to avoid that pain and that trauma that you experienced in the past, you learn to be helpless. And that's how you subconsciously can see that it was a subconscious choice that we made, or that our ancestors made, to stay in slavery for 400 years. It was subconscious. And he didn't articulate that well. So people just took what he said and ran with it, just because, that's what they're trying to do now, since he's been doing all the Donald Trump stuff and everything he's been doing over the years. But that's not what he meant. You got to be open-minded enough to try to really think about what he's saying. If you don't, then you won't. That's it. If you close-minded, you cannot fill a cup that's already full. So if you already have your way that you want to think about stuff, then that's the way you're going to think about it. And it's really as simple as that. But I don't think that's a wise way to go about life. Because how can you grow or anything if you set in your ways, if you set in your thoughts? You got to be open and receptive to new ideas. He talk a lot about ideas. And look, Kanye West is a genius. You can't argue. Look at the results he got. Look at the results Donald Trump got. You can't argue with these guys' genius. And that genius come from ideas. All right? I'm not saying that they smarter than you at every topic in life, but them ideas got to be something. All right? Look at the results. All right? You can say they crazy. You can say whatever you want about them, but look at the results. You know what I'm saying? They obviously know something that you don't know. I'm just saying. So if you go think about a star like that. But don't put them on a pedestal like you looking up at an actual star. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. No, because they still human. They still men. So you go see imperfect things about them. But their ideas, though, when they talk, listen. I don't care how you hate them. But when they talk, listen with an open mind and open heart. That's just my advice for you. You know what I'm saying? This is Business and Gravy. I'm Caesar Clark. In this channel, we talk about personal branding, personal finance, and personal development. What Kanye West is trying to tell people, that concept of learned helplessness, I will explain it like I'm trying to do right now, right? And how you talking about, well, I don't know if you heard all his interviews, but he was talking about economic empowerment. So we talk about personal finance, how to become financially free, what you should be doing with your money and what you shouldn't be doing with your money. Because all this shit is set up. Don't think we like right now it's like mental slavery. Even though we waking up, we ain't fed up. So that's why we're not fighting now. But it's still like a whole bunch of hidden stuff that's going on that's keeping us economically, dependent on this system that don't even work for us and stuff like that. But like I said, I talk about it. Like Kanye, he don't articulate stuff well because he's not like, that's not his job to do that. He just expresses himself. But me, I'm actually trying to articulate it for people. So that's it. Subscribe to the channel. Share this video if it made sense to you.